Hola from a hotel in central Mexico. And the reason for this video is to encourage everyone who's perhaps not having a happy Thanksgiving to just let you know that you're not alone. The trend of our society is to flaunt one's happiness, wealth, success, etc. in front of a camera and say, look at me, look how happy I am, and we smile all the time and all this. And well, this is the opposite of that. This is not to wallow in anything depressed or sad or empty or lonely or pointless, nihilistic, futile, etc. But it's to say that if you are feeling perhaps empty, abandoned, alone, unloved, unappreciated, unwanted, that you're not alone. There are those of us out there who it's okay. These two verses have been reminded to me in recent days, and they've never resonated with me like they have in the last few days, the last month and a half, 2 months, but I haven't been aware of them. I've been reminded of them over the last couple of days. Colossians 3, 2 and 3, set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. For ye are dead, and your life is hid with Christ in God. And so if you're feeling dead, then it's a blessing in disguise. And I understand that it's disguised, but it's a blessing in disguise because without losing whatever it is that you've lost, without having things circumstantially or otherwise just removed from your life, and that leaves you stripped bare and defenseless and vulnerable in a hostile environment, which is everywhere, then that's a blessing in disguise, because that is the only thing that maybe will drive you into the arms of God and onto the path of God's will for your life. And I'm talking to myself more than I'm talking to anybody else, because I've known those verses for a long time, but they've never resonated with me before, because I am dead. I am dead. And it was really great to be back in the States. I actually didn't care if I came back down here or not. I looked at apartments, but nothing stuck. I looked at places. I tried to stay in a couple of places. There was nothing really opened up, and it was just obviously a situation of closed doors. And while there is a handful of people up there, and they know who they are, who I really deeply do love and care very much about, and even some of y'all who you might not think it applies to you too. So maybe it's a large handful, whom I will probably never see, with a couple of exceptions, hopefully. I'd like to have some people come down and visit me once I get a place, if that's God's will. It's a possibility. I didn't think I'd ever go back to Jerome, and I ended up going back there. I was only there for 3 days, but I saw some people there that it was wonderful to see, and I never thought I was going to see the place again. So you never know. But I am not feeling particularly alive. And so if you're not feeling alive, just know that it's okay, that God loves you, you're not alone, and there are many of us out there who know exactly how you feel, more or less. Nobody knows exactly how anybody exactly feels, but more or less. And holidays are rough, they can be. And if you don't have a family, and if you're stranded or abandoned or alone, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful to not be in the van, to be indoors tonight. I'm grateful that my mother is in heaven. I'm grateful to be forgiven. I'm grateful that I was stuck in Illinois on and off with at least 1 foot in that place for 10 years in a row. And I was in that place on and off throughout that time for years on end in some cases. And it was the second best thing that ever happened to me, because if I hadn't been stuck there, me and my mother never would have come to the point of kneeling and pleading for God, pleading for Jesus, pleading for forgiveness. And it saved us. I'm grateful for that. At the time, It was brutal, but I'm grateful for it. It's the second best thing that ever happened to me, second only to being forgiven. I'm grateful for all of my friends. I'm grateful to be in Mexico. I'm grateful to have gone back to the States and seen the people that I was glad to see. So, and I'm grateful that the Lord is here with me. And it's faith. And His mercy. I'm grateful for His mercy in my life. And we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. Thanksgiving, losing a tradition, losing there's no meal perhaps. You remember certain things in the past that are no longer the case. The beauty of the holidays, the cohesion of the society in which they are celebrated. Gone, 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 gone. But the Lord is here, and if you call Him into your life, I think as Romans 10:13 says, whoever calls in the name of the Lord shall be saved. If you call on Him, He's right there. And there's nothing better. God bless. Happy Thanksgiving. Adios.